Question: do you know what living medicine is? Living medicine is an elite, truly revolutionary system of holistic, scientifically based natural medicine that is going to enable you to do two things that you've likely been needing to do for a very long time. Number one, to stop wasting your time, energy, hope, and money going from practitioner to practitioner, merely trying one disjointed therapy after another to little or no avail, and in some cases, actually being harmed by them. And number two, to regain your health and actually rid yourself of the suffering, embarrassment, and loss of freedom your current illness damns you to. I know that's a mouthful, but pay attention if you or someone you love is suffering, because this is truly what works. Okay, let's talk about living medicine. I'm Dr. Christopher J Fabricius, a licensed primary care physician with over 2 decades of practice experience, specializing in scientifically validated natural medicine. And I'm the founder of Living Medicine. Ralph Moss, PhD, one of the founding members of the National Institute of Health, and himself the founder of the Moss Reports, endorses my work. For over 12 years, I've taught German biological medicine to NDs, DOs, MDs, and DCs at 4 of the naturopathic medical schools in the United States. And over the years, I've been delighted to share my knowledge and hard-earned experience through my lectures, writings, appearances on TV programs, and interviews in magazines. And of course, my work with real people like us, people like you and me, of all ages and all degrees of infirmity and fitness, and from all walks of life, children, teens, adults, and seniors. With profound gratitude and love, I'm blessed to be the father of 2 wonderful sons. Over the many years of my life, I've gained firsthand intimate experience with pain, loss, suffering, injury, illness, hopelessness, and despair. But from these hurts, I've carried forward a state of humility and empathy, knowledge and wisdom, patience and resolve, all of which I'm grateful for, and all of which intensify my commitment to improving the lives of each human being in my care. As human beings, we're capable of profound transformative healing when we approach our challenges the right way. Living medicine is that way. Since you're here on my site, you or someone you love is suffering, and you're seeking a viable and actionable solution to this. Take heart. I help people like you who have serious medical conditions and are losing hope of ever getting better, who've supposedly been everywhere and done everything to no avail, who are sick and tired of scrambling from one well-intentioned practitioner to another, only to merely try numerous uncoordinated therapies that ultimately don't work, despite your tremendous investments of hope, time, energy, and money, who are frustrated with being told that you have to live with it, or that despite the very real damage you're enduring as a result of the side effects from the drugs or surgery you've been prescribed and told that this is the best that you can do, and who, based on good old common sense, reason that there must be a better way and are committed to finding it and ready to engage in it when you do. I will help you to understand why you're stuck, why what you're doing hasn't worked, why you're actually getting worse despite your prescribed treatments, and most importantly, what you actually should be doing so that you can take back the freedom to live and engage in your life as you choose to, the way you used to, maybe even better, to be the man or woman, husband or wife, father, mother you were meant to be, without the crippling limitations of fatigue, pain, depression, shame, impaired function, drugs and their side effects, or any of the physical, mental, or emotional impairments and limitations that currently steal your life away. Pay attention, please, to everything that I'm going to share with you. You will learn exactly what you should be doing to regain your health. Why? Because this doesn't exist anywhere else on the planet. I am a proverbial pit bull when it comes to discerning and getting after the core nature of a problem and seeing it through until I achieve maximum restoration of health and vitality with my patients. There are profound reasons why living medicine works, and I'm going to tell them to you. So please, settle yourself, be present, open your mind, and listen closely. Think. You need to hear what I'm going to share with you. I'm going to outline 13 foundational key concepts that will powerfully change your thinking and correctly orient you towards doing what you must to regain your health. When you understand these, you will have renewed and well-founded hope of recovery and know that living medicine is your best means of attaining that. You need to understand, number one, it is only and always your individual body, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, that can ever and does ever accomplish the miracle of healing. There is no doctor, drug, scalpel, herb, homeopathic, nutrient, essential oil, etc., that ever quote unquote heals you, period. You can either choose to work with your body, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, honoring, augmenting, and enhancing its unique ability to heal, or if you do anything else but that, you will, even if inadvertently, get in the way of the process and hinder it. It is only we as individuals who heal ourselves. Let me give you an example. Let's say you lacerate your hand and get stitches. What heals your hand? The stitches? The doctor? Of course not. It's your body that has to fight off the infection and close the wound. All healing is self-regulated healing. Number two, treating disease through merely suppressing symptoms is not the same thing as restoring health. Don't kid yourself. These are two distinctly different things entirely. Sadly, we've all been conditioned to go to doctors for treatment of disease, right? Treatments of such things as hypertension and heart disease, depression and anxiety, autoimmune diseases like lupus, migraine headaches, Crohn's disease, cancer, etc. Do these so-called treatments actually cleanse, strengthen, tune, rehabilitate, and restore health back to your body, such that you function the way you did when you were younger and fit before even having the disease? No, of course not. The conventional approach ignores addressing what the body actually needs to heal itself. Just as badly, often the drugs and surgeries employed in conventional approaches routinely promote further degeneration in your body. We've all been brainwashed to believe that our American medical system is about healthcare. It plainly is not. It's about disease care. Conventional therapies are aimed solely at suppressing symptoms as opposed to promoting wellness. Tell me, how's that working for you? Number three, merely suppressing symptoms with toxic drugs in hopes of getting well is like running west in hopes of seeing the sunrise. People don't have drug deficiencies. Think about it. If you know of someone who has arthritis, you think they have an ibuprofen deficiency? When you have migraines, do you have an Imitrex deficiency? No, you don't. How about Crohn's disease? When you have Crohn's, you don't have an acetylcholine deficiency. If your kid has ADHD, they don't have a Ritalin deficiency. And if you're depressed, you certainly don't have a Prozac deficiency. When you take any substance, drug, herb, nutrient, etc., to merely suppress a symptom, it does not fix the problem that results in that symptom. Yes, these substances can force an effect upon the body, but what are they doing to address the background underlying functional and lesional disturbances behind why the problem is there in the first place, much less actually giving the body what it needs to resolve it? Nothing. Hence, this conventional approach is not capable of getting you well. At best, it can only help you cope with your problems. At worst, it's actually causing more and obstructing your ability to heal. Stop wasting your time with it. Number four, you only have a limited pool of energy and resources to carry out normal physiologic processes that maintain health and to invest in the complex physiologic actions necessary to recover it when it's lost. To actually reverse the degeneration that is inherent within entrenched chronic degenerative disease and long-standing dysfunction, you must employ powerful therapies that efficiently direct the lion's share of your limited and valuable resources towards the accomplishment of what your body knows is of the highest primary importance first, and then subsequently towards what your body next determines the chief most priority to be, and so on. We refer to this as your body's hierarchy of priority, i.e., needing to address the most important underlying issue first, and in the right sequence subsequently. And this, far more often than not, is very different from what you think your chief symptoms are, or even where those symptoms express. Being able to determine that hierarchy of priority And as importantly, being able to effectively direct the right therapies that will create potent therapeutic effect there is of quintessential importance in actually facilitating the healing you need to reverse the curse your current illness imposes upon you. Think about it. Reality, there's a gaping hole in your roof. Consequence, your carpet gets soaked when it rains. Your chief symptoms, number 1, your feet get cold walking on wet carpet. And number 2, you sneeze and get headaches from all the mold. Conventional medicine's approach. Give you first a bunch of teacups to catch the ceiling drips. Second, plastic bags for your feet. And third, antihistamines for your sneeze. The result? You waste your time. Your limited energy, time, and resources running around, placing teacups all over the place, doped up on antihistamines, with plastic bags on your feet. You ignore the real problem. You're given bigger and bigger cups as the hole in the roof continues to get bigger over time. And they convince you that this is the best you can do, that you're crazy if you acknowledge the futility of the approach, that it's not actually helping. And then they mock you if you want to do something else. Now let's talk about living medicine's approach. First, correctly identify what the problem is and how to sequentially fix it. Second, provide the blueprints and sequential instructions for how to fix it. Third, provide the highest quality materials to fix it. Fourth, repair the roof. Fifth, clean up corrupted materials, i.e. moldy wet carpeting, soggy floorboards, etc. Sixth, rebuild with new and improved flooring, carpet, etc. 7, teach your roof maintenance so you never get the problem again. A new roof, a clean home, warm, comfortable feet, and a happy, healthy you. What do you think is the more rational approach? If you're engaging in common, conventional, symptom-focused therapies, like most Americans have been prescribed by their well-meaning doctors, you are misappropriating and thereby wasting a significant chunk of your life. Towards what? A bunch of what amounts to ineffectual busy work that gets you nowhere, other than pissed off and demoralized, right? It's time to get off that train. It's not going to take you where you want to go. It never could. Number 5, most of your health problems are actually due to weak and dysfunctional organ systems that are in need of cleansing and strengthening. Organs are supposed to function within a certain window of efficiency in order for them to adequately fulfill the needs that the body relies upon them to uniquely meet. As long as your organ can function within this range, let's say between 70 and 100%, your health is maintained. But if ever anything knocks that organ out of that window of efficiency, let's say, for example, to 40%, symptoms will occur in the gap between where the organ is and where it needs to be. Those symptoms are not signs of drug deficiencies. We spoke about that. They are reliable indicators that this organ needs rehabilitative support. Cleansing and strengthening, right? To get back to normal ranges. By restoring that organ back into that window of efficiency through the artful, sequential provision of the right therapies, the disease and its associated symptoms are effectively eliminated, not because we treated disease or its symptoms, but rather because we expressly did not and chose instead to facilitate self-regulated healing of what the underlying cause or deficiency was. That makes sense, doesn't it? Number 6, both healing and degeneration into deeper states of illness and dysfunction each occur in ordered and predictable ways. Understanding this, I'll be able to reliably interpret not only your current state of pathology, but also how you got there and also how to employ the effective use of therapies in your treatment. Our culture has falsely conditioned us to always ascribe a negative interpretation of many of our body's healthward responses, like fevers, coughing, inflammation, diarrhea, etc. We need to recognize that when these biological reactions occur, when they're productive and leading towards wellness, and when they're merely hallmarks of a devitalized state in need of therapeutic support. Understanding what your body is seeking to accomplish during such episodes is the key. Many times it would actually be to your advantage to optimize the efficiency of such healthward biological reactions rather than to suppress them. Number 7, coordinating the individualized and correct sequence of organ cleansing and rehabilitative therapies over time is essential to facilitating healing. This concept of syntax, the proper application of correctly ordered sequence, is crucial to the success of any complex endeavor, i.e., the healing of long-term disease. If you mix up the properly sequenced steps of a recipe to make, let's say, an award-winning chocolate cake by haphazardly just putting all the ingredients into a pan and putting it in the oven, you won't be happy with the end result. The ability to assess and determine the proper sequentially applied combinations of organ-specific therapies over time that is specific to your needs is a hallmark of the living medicine methodology and is one of the primary reasons for our long history of impressive case successes. Number 8, the goal of all worthwhile therapies must be the promotion of self-regulated healing, as opposed to forcing unnatural and often harmful physiologic states upon the body, as conventional therapies often do. Do you remember when you were young and healthy, before your current illness? Your body was functioning well and was maintaining health. Your body is always doing the best that it can with what it has available. Your body wants to be well. It actually prefers it. By providing the proper therapies and lifestyle modifications that will allow your body to cleanse and strengthen, it will again function this way to the highest degree to which it's capable. Healing is best when it is honored and facilitated as an organic process that you, as the complex physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual being you are, govern and orchestrate naturally. Number 9, even so-called genetically determined illness can be powerfully and beneficially influenced through the use of epigenetic therapies. Just because you've got gene for disease X or Y doesn't mean that you are damned to suffer from it. There are documented cases of identical twins, each with the gene for so-called genetically determined illness, where one twin is afflicted and the other is not. Why? Because everybody's body is capable of wisely upregulating or downregulating the expression of a gene. That's a fact. In living medicine, I will employ scientifically validated means of doing just that to your advantage as the case requires. That's right, we will use living medicine to favorably upregulate or downregulate your genes to therapeutically enhance your ability to resolve your disease. Don't let that point slip by you. Number 10, we need to treat you physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, not your disease, in order to actually get you better. Each level and part that contributes to the holism of who you are as a human being has its proper station and influence upon the whole. Your mind, heart, and spirit each influence the efficiency and well-being of your physical body and vice versa. This is true with every conceivable combination. For example, when you've experienced great sadness or loss or hopelessness, it suppresses your immune system. That's a fact. Or when you're in prolonged physical pain, does it not make your temper short? Of course it does. Everything is connected. Diseases cannot exist independently of a human being. You, as a human being, can definitely exist independent of a disease. The disease only exists as a result of confounded and compromised normal biological processes. Since only you can ever and does ever accomplish the feat of healing, it's you that needs treatment, healing, betterment, not your disease. Number 11, anything that obstructs or prevents your ability to heal, what we call impediments to cure, must be dealt with. You can give a car the finest high-octane gasoline, but if it's got fouled fuel injectors, blown fuses, an oil leak, and is 30 years overdue for a tune-up, gas alone is not going to make it run like new. Think of your health being akin to a beautiful, lively piece of symphony music being played. The quality and perfection of a symphony performance essentially depends upon two simple things: informational regulation, by the conductor directing the orchestra as a whole and by the musicians playing their individual instruments, and the material state of the environment as a whole, i.e. the quality of the concert hall, clarity of the sheet music, the setup of the stage, stability of the chairs, etc., and of each individual instrument, whether it's well maintained, clean, and in good form, tuned, or whether it's been neglected or is broken, missing strings, keys. You get the idea. Compromise to either of these results, at best, in suboptimal performance, and at worst, in poor performance or even the inability to perform. Hence, impediments to cure are those that informationally and/or materially impair or obstruct your organs and cells' ability to function healthily and heal from whatever ails you. Now, informational impediments to cure can take the form of many things: toxic relationships, dysfunctional or limiting belief systems, electromagnetic disturbance fields, radiation, conditioned dysfunction, like staying up too late though you're tired, or repeatedly giving yourself a drug to suppress a symptom, or training yourself not to cough so you can smoke. Material impediments to cure can take the form of toxins, like weed killers, automobile exhaust, flame retardants, drugs, chemicals, etc. Or normally nutritive substances, oxygen, iron, protein, glucose, water, etc., imbalances of which can even cause harm, and do. It is always essential to identify and facilitate the resolution of both, as each of these impediments to cure can just as strongly derail your process of healing. Number 12. Your body, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, is a complex living sentient system with both energetic informational and material physical needs. Failing to understand, honor, and therapeutically address this truth in the creation of an effective treatment to regain your health will be a costly mistake. Far too often, it is exactly because of such a mistake that well-intended therapies get you nowhere. Let me restate this because it's important. Anyone, including you, who ignores providing the right information and the right materials necessary to accomplish the healing you need is doomed to fail. Both are important. Both are necessary. It's simple biology. Doing just one and ignoring the other, pretending that the other is not important, is foolhardy and cannot get you where you want to go. Period. Think about it. You need material therapies. No one in their right mind would expect that by merely giving a master swordsmith a piece of gum, some copper coins, and a handful of straw, he'll be able to make a master-crafted samurai sword, right? If you don't provide proper amounts of quality materials, much less the right specific kinds of materials that are necessary for the project at hand, what hope have you of successfully completing it? For example, any reasonable person would agree that the level of exercise, diet, and sleep necessary for an athlete to maintain fitness is wholly different than what is necessary to overcome morbid obesity. Why? Because it's important to realize that the levels, amounts, and types of materials your body needs to simply maintain good health when you actually have it are distinctly different than those required to regain health that is long lost. You're talking about distinctly different levels of physiologic efficiency. The nutritional demands of your organs and cells are understandably dramatically increased during the numerous and prolonged catabolic and anabolic phases of healing that are required to overcome any chronic degenerative illness. Failure to sufficiently provide for those cells' material needs during those critical and numerous phases of healing will greatly hinder your success, if not outright prevent it. In addition to material therapies, you also need informational therapies. No one in their right mind would expect that by merely giving a person a master-crafted samurai sword, that it would instantly make them into a master swordsman, right? Often symptoms and illness result from disordered and poorly governed physiology. The mere provision of even the finest materials to your body does not automatically convey the knowledge and skill implicit to their masterful use by your organs and cells to heal you. Therefore, re-educating, reconditioning, and tuning your organs and cells to function at peak levels of efficiency, especially when the demand upon them is so high, is to your distinct advantage and necessary as a catalyst to your healing. Interestingly enough, and more often than not, the energetic informational remedies that accomplish this are actually more important and have more impact on your healing than any other class of remedy. We must remember that it is not the brick that builds the wall, it's the builder. The brick is a mere component. Bricks can be built into walls, walkways, bridges, patios, etc. It is the knowledge of how the bricks are to be organized and utilized that determines the outcome. Providing the builder with the proper blueprints and instructions on how to accomplish the repair and the right quality and quantity of the materials necessary at each specific phase of repair allows for the manifestation of what is needed. Cells and organs, just like builders, need appropriate information and materials in order to fulfill requisite tasks. In short, how to intelligently orchestrate the use of materials is as important as the quality, amount, and type of materials used, whether we're talking about repairing the architecture of a damaged bridge or an organ in your body. And lastly, number 13, human beings only exist within the context and flow of time. Your past matters. More specifically, how you came to where you are now matters. All human beings go through normal developmental stages of organ and nervous system development. In fact, your body is literally not physically mature until your late 20s, early 30s. To the degree to which these stages sufficiently or insufficiently occur has direct impact upon the viable capability of that organ to successfully meet the needs of the body, to either maintain health or to go through the necessary rehabilitative steps to recover it when lost. Whereas the ordered sequence of organ decompensations that took you from a point of wellness in your past to a point of illness in your present is what we refer to as the causal chain. Your doctor needs to understand both to be able to determine the order of the therapeutic intervention necessary, i.e., directing care to the most appropriate combination of organ systems sequentially over time that will allow your speediest and most efficient recovery. As such, a comprehensive analysis of your specific health history from birth to present is essential. For this reason, a living medicine new patient case intake is on average 6 to 8 hours long. A job worth doing is a job worth doing right. Understanding these 13 foundational key concepts, you now know more than most licensed health practitioners about what actually makes profound feats of healing not only possible, but likely. Use it to your advantage. Living medicine is a proven, unique, rational, science-based medical system that combines the very best modern medical knowledge and methods with valid and effective ancient healing disciplines and methods to promote your ability to achieve and experience uncommon and remarkable feats of healing. Because, despite using the same science, we approach and apply it differently in our professional interpretation of who you are, what the real problems are, and how to actually go about helping you. For nearly 3 decades now, I've been engaging living medicine as a licensed primary care doctor to help people like you and me with real skin in the game through serious, even life-threatening health challenges to remarkable effect. The unique signature solution that we employ in living medicine is not some hypothetical pretty theory that is the latest fad that you see marketed at the checkout line in a grocery store, or the mere well-intentioned hope of some good-hearted acquaintance who likes to dabble on the fringes of various modalities after getting his education from having read a flyer at a health food store. This approach and the steps that define it actually works, and it's proven time and time again in a professional clinical setting. We have it down to a science. Our slogan, proven approach, uncommon results. People from all over the world have benefited from living medicine, with some of those very patients themselves being licensed nurses, physicians, dentists, etc., from places as far away as New Zealand, Israel, and Ireland. Many of our biggest fans come from the conventional side of the fence because they know firsthand and only too well the limits and sometimes unavoidable harm that the primary use of drugs and surgery frequently cause. We pay attention to and factor in all of your conventional medical data: physical exam results, blood studies, urinalysis, hormone panels, neurotransmitter panels, imagery, including ultrasound, x-rays, MRIs, CAT scans, you name it, EKGs, etc. Whatever it is, it matters, and we're going to pay attention to it. We also pay attention to and factor in all of your real-life data: how you got to this place, what heartaches you've had, relationship struggles, family situations, poor lifestyle choices, what setbacks you've experienced, your fears, addictive habits, etc., and all their consequences. Don't worry, if it matters to you, it matters to me. Living Medicine employs a 9-step signature solution that is the culmination of my life's work. It incorporates every pertinent step that I must take as your physician to facilitate your greatest feats of self-regulated healing, from the taking and interpretation of your case to the creation of your individualized protocol. Through the process of discerning where you're at, how you came to be that way, and where you are committed to going, I will provide you with a unified, well-orchestrated, coordinated, and most importantly, individualized protocol directed by me that will sequentially cleanse and rebuild your key organ systems in the right combinations to foster the incremental gains that will accomplish the healing you desire and deserve to the highest degree possible. Think about it. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to finally engage in a program that you're confident will powerfully facilitate your body's ability to actually resolve these real-life challenges and curses to the highest degree to which you're capable, instead of all the frustrating, overwhelming, and ineffectual stuff that you're doing now that isn't working, all the drugs and their side effects, all the discoordinated therapies tried again and again, all the natural remedies that should work but don't, all the unending doctor's visits. Wouldn't it be nice to finally be able to ignore all the BS so-called silver bullet miracle products flooding your inboxes and news feeds that overpromise and underdeliver, that you feel compelled to read out of a desperate hope that maybe, just maybe, you can find something that works for you? Wouldn't it be nice to actually be well again, to no longer be plagued with what ails you, to actually have your life back and experience vitality and freedom the way you once did? You can with Living Medicine. I'm Dr. Christopher J Fabricius. Thank you for your time and attention. But perhaps you're still wondering, is becoming a Living Medicine patient right for me or my loved one? Consider doing my comprehensive life health review. It's a telemed conference of approximately 8 to 10 hours, done over 2 days between you and myself, where we review you. You will receive a written life health protocol designed by me that is specifically individualized to your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual status that will help you to begin making immediate improvements in your life. Even if you choose not to become a full-time patient of mine, give yourself this truly cathartic and transformative gift of health and begin to get your best self back. It's my sincere hope that this video inspires you to embrace a course of action that transforms the state of your health into something better than you could have ever hoped for. It would be my honor to be your personal physician and/or provide you with your comprehensive life health review. Call my office today to start your Living Medicine transformation. You'll be glad you did. I can and will help you. Welcome to Living Medicine.